Hello, this is Cochise Pearson, and I am delighted to come back to my viewers. First of all, I want to say I appreciate all of your support, and thank you so much for all of the views. I am very grateful. Today, I am going to focus on one of the greatest music producers of all time. Many will say that he is the greatest music producer of all time. Quincy Jones. He was born in 1933 and he passed away at the age of 91 years old in November of 2024. And what a phenomenal individual. When he was in elementary school, Quincy, he developed a penchant for playing the trumpet, and boy, did he learn how to play that trumpet. He was a master playing the trumpet. And later on in life, Quincy Jones, he went to college, and he quit college so that he can join the Lionel Hampton Tour. Now, I know some of you are conditioned to go to school, college, and graduate. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I must highlight that when you have an insatiable desire to work on your career goal without a degree, it can be a phenomenal investment. Why? Because, look at Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, who is a multi-billionaire. And I gotta highlight Bill Gates too, who dropped out of Harvard University and is a multi-billionaire today. Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates, both of whom attended Harvard and realized that I need to focus on my passion without getting an undergraduate degree from one of the most prestigious universities in the world. So, going back to Quincy Jones, I commend him for following down that path to make things happen so that he can succeed doing what he loves. Well, anyway, he became a freelance song arranger, and he teamed up with the greatest entertainers of his time. Ray Charles, Duke Ellington, Dinah Washington, Count Basie, all of whom legends. And those individuals, they just inspired Quincy Jones to move forward. And he just had a great belief in himself to succeed because he surrounded himself with living legends during his lifetime. And he became a music director, a trumpster. He joined the Dizzy Gillespie Band. And those of you who do not know Dizzy Gillespie, he was one of the greatest jazz band leaders of all time. And he empowered Quincy Jones to continue to walk your path of greatness. Quincy Jones, he started his own band and he released albums, all of which became very successful. Number one, he went on national tours. And in 1956, he was in his 20s and he had an affiliation with Paramount Records, a predominantly white record company, and he moved on up and became a vice president. Now, I got to pause about that just for a brief moment. That was very unusual during the Jim Crow era that a black man in America became a vice president at one of the most successful record companies at the time, Paramount. Unbelievable, but he made it happen. And he was able to work, with the best of the best entertainers, such as Frank Sinatra, Ella Fitzgerald, and he just continued to challenge himself. And I'm always telling my clients that if you want to be able to succeed and take it to the next level and move up that ladder, you got to challenge yourself. Like, for example, if you don't know how to swim, you learn how to swim and you take it out, to the ocean. You go from a swimming pool to the ocean. Well, moving back to Quincy Jones, not only did he challenge himself, but also he transitioned to become a music. He composed music, and he did just a wonderful, wonderful job. Sidney Poitier, the movie Slender Threat, Quincy Jones was behind that in terms of the music. Also, the big Hollywood hits, such as The Following, In the Heat of the Night, The Italian Job, and he collaborated with Michael Jackson and Diana Ross when those two were together in The Wiz, and that was a big hit on Broadway. However, the biggest recognition, this guy, he went from the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. He just continued to take it to the next level. Well, going back to 1979, collaborated with Michael Jackson. He worked on the album Off the Wall, and you guys know what I'm talking about. That was a mammoth success. Off the Wall, it sold over 20 million copies. And then in 1982, Thriller, that changed the musical landscape. Quincy Jones, he was considered at that time, and in my opinion today, the greatest music producer of all time, because Thriller, it just impacted the world. It sold over 110 million copies, and that is just unprecedented. It is unheard of. And then he followed up in 1987 with the album Bad, which sold a little over 30 million copies. I'm talking about Quincy Jones, the greatest music producer of all time. And if you haven't done so already, if you like this content, I want you to please, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't done it already, subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can be the first one in line. When I release a video, it will come directly to your social media. Now, check out my recap on the phenomenal Quincy Jones. Thank you.